Hello and welcome to the Isaac Newton Institute podcast. My name is Dan Aspel and I'm the Communications Manager at I&I. In today's episode, myself and Kira Dangerfield are joined by Francisco Sahli of the Pontifical Catholic University of Chile. Francisco is one of three academics who we're going to interview in this mini-series, all of whom have received funding for their travels and their attendance at I&I activities from the Cambridge Philosophical Society. We hope you enjoyed the episode. So Francisco, it's great to have you here with myself and Kira. And we were just saying before we started recording that you are in Santiago in Chile.
Yes, exactly. I was born here and pretty much spent my entire life here, except for my PhD.
Yeah, so it's very exotic for us to speak to someone who's on the other side of the world at the moment. So thank you for joining us, especially at a time of day which might not be exactly convenient for you, but it is for us.
No, I mean, it's good. We only have like 4 hours of difference, so it's not too bad.
Oh, fabulous. Okay. So, Francisco, you were part of the FHT program, which is the Fickle Heart, which took place in between May and June of last year in 2019. Tell us a little bit about your experience with it and how it fitted with your research and interests.
Yeah. So I attended a workshop during that program that was called Uncertainty Quantification for Cardiac Models. That's a great fit for what I do. I mean, I could use the title of the workshop for the title of my research, I guess, because I work mainly on mathematical models of the heart. So the idea is that we want to create a virtual replica of a patient heart, so we can study it, the diseases that it has, and maybe we can also try treatments before we apply them to the patients. But that's a tricky task because we only have limited information that we can get from patients, and typically they will just do 1 or 2 exams, and we need to recreate this heart in the computer with only that limited information. So we want to quantify how much we trust our models, and that's where the uncertainty quantification part comes in. So yeah, I mean, it was a perfect fit for my research.
And just with that, like quantifying the uncertainty in the models, is my understanding from the Fickle Heart program is that that's also really important when you're wanting to be able to use these in the clinic, because they have to get anything through clinical trials and things, they have to be able to show that it's like robust and all these other things. So being able to quantify that uncertainty is quite important for that end stage. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So the end goal is to give the physician, instead of one value, like do the surgery or not do the surgery, we will prefer as modelers to give them a probability, like this is going to work 80% of the times, we think, because there are so many things that we don't know, that giving just one number will not be giving the complete picture of what we trust in the model. So I mean, it's also a responsible thing to do as modelers.
And Francisco, you're I think it's fair to say you're at the early stages of your career. So how did you find your time at the institute here in Cambridge?
Yeah, it was really nice. I mean, I was a postdoc then. Now I'm an assistant professor for only 1 year, so it's all pretty new to me. And for me, it was great because like all the biggest names on the field were in that program. So it was great to hear from them, to learn from them, to meet them, and also to get some feedback on my research. I think it was a fantastic opportunity. Yeah. So
was it your first time in Cambridge?
Yeah, it was my first time in Cambridge and in the UK. So it was pretty impressive, all the visit.
I find it really interesting to see the different makeup of the workshops which happen at the Institute, because the age ranges vary quite a lot, and some, because of the nature of the program, some will have a lot of senior academics and some will have a really nice mixture. I'm guessing, as you were saying, that a lot of the leading people in the field were there. Does that mean there were people of quite a wide age range that you were meeting in that workshop week?
Yeah. I think it was super nicely organized, because I think if I remember correctly, in the morning the more senior faculty will present, and then in the afternoon the junior faculty will present, or the junior researchers. So it was a nice combination of really experienced people who were at the end of their careers, and some people like me who were just starting. So yeah, it was really nice in that sense.
Did you find it useful? Because they had quite a few people, didn't they, from the uncertainty quantification area specifically, like people who I guess you may not normally come into contact with because they're not leaders in cardiac electrophysiology, but they're just interested in uncertainty quantification. So I don't know, did you find that useful or interact with any of those people? Or?
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty one of the things that I like the most about the workshop. For example, Professor O'Hagan, who is a professor from statistics, I think he was like one of the first speakers on the day that I presented, and I have been using the methods that he developed in my research applied to cardiac electrophysiology. So it was incredibly nice to see someone, the person who pretty much invented the method, and that I was applying in my talk later in the day. So I think it was a perfect combination in that sense.
Did you manage to get a chat with him over coffee or anything to say, I use your methods? They're great.
I was hoping to meet him after my talk, but then I started looking for him. I was the last talk and I couldn't find him. So that's one of the things that I regret.
Have there been any collaborations following your time at the workshop? Are you still in touch with anyone that you did meet?
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So, and there are some people that I usually go to conference with. So I see them. I have seen them a couple more times, I think. And there was particularly one talk that caught my mind during the workshop, and I had an idea after that talk, and I implemented it, and then we published a paper, and now we are collaborating with one of the people I met there at the workshop, and we are applying for funding, and we also have some more publications trying to publish more work. So it has definitely been a fruitful stay during the workshop.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
That's really cool. And is that someone sort of, is this like a international collaboration that you've managed to set up?
Yeah. This person is in a university in Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. That's very cool. And so what do you think your favorite thing about your time at the INI was? What did you enjoy most about that week?
So from an academic perspective, I think like meeting all these researchers was great, but also going to Cambridge was pretty. I really like the place. I think it's pretty amazing. It's different from what you see in Chile for sure, and also I did my PhD in the US, and it was also very different from what you see there. So it was super impressive for me.
Oh, I see. I'm very jealous because Santiago has the backdrop of the Andes, which is quite different to the fens around Cambridge.
Yeah. I live by the mountain pretty much.
There you go. So it was quite novel to you to come to the flattest place on earth.
Yeah.
We do get nice sunrises though because it is so flat. So.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Francisco, one of the reasons we were speaking to you is because this is a sort of podcast mini-series about people that have received funding from the Cambridge Philosophical Society. We wanted to ask you about funding in general and whether you think it's important for early career researchers.
Yeah. So I'm super grateful about the funding that I received to attend to the workshop. if you think, I mean, just the airplane ticket to go to Europe is pretty expensive from Chile. So, I mean, that helps quite a lot. I mean, if someone from Europe wants to go to the institute, I mean, they will save a lot of money that I need to afford just to cross the Atlantic. So I'm really grateful for that. And in general, I think, funding is really important. I mean, if you're a postdoc, like I was when I attended to the institute, I mean, pretty much you need to secure your funding by yourself. So it's always in the back of your mind, like how I'm gonna secure my job for the next couple of years. And now as a junior faculty, it's also super important, even though I have like a more stable salary, it's super important to establish your group, so you can start doing science, because you cannot do this alone. You always need a team surrounding you. So it's super important in that sense. So I'm lucky because I do mostly computational work. So I don't need to set up a lab. I don't need to invest a lot of resources buying equipment. So I just need to invest in people. So it's a bit easier for me.
And I guess as well, invest in being able to publicize your research, right, to the wider community. So, because you said you did a talk in the workshop, is that right? And so I guess it's quite, because it can be quite difficult when you're in that early career phase. You're trying to get your name out there, aren't you? And you're trying to get known as this is what you do, and get the attention of some of the bigger names in the field, as well as making connections. And so I guess, did you find that quite useful? Like, that's where the funding can also be useful to kind of help establish yourself as a researcher in that area.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I mean, as I said before, like being located in Chile, going to conferences is also a big part of your budget, because not much people come here for. So I guess that you need to go abroad to showcase yourself. So I mean, I think most of the researchers here, they try to go to conferences all the time, so they can be known, because it's not given. If you're here, nobody's gonna find you, so you need to go out and try to show yourself.
Oh, well, here's to the world returning to normal as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So what are you doing this week and next, Francisco? What's happening in your life at the moment in terms of your work?
Yeah, so since I'm a new faculty, I'm teaching and I'm preparing a new class, and that takes a lot of my time. But I also, all weeks I have meetings with some students, some graduate and undergrad students, so that keeps me busy. And we are also ending the semester here, so because the semester ends now in a couple of weeks, so that also is keeping me really busy.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I wish you all the best with it. I think that's it for our questions, Kira, unless you've got anything else you wanted to ask.
No, that's really interesting. Thanks.
No, that's perfect. So thanks again for joining us, Francisco. It's been a real pleasure.
No, thank you for the invitation. I really enjoyed it.
Cheers.